Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery with the purchase of any smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Jen Baum, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen. And here at the corner of Lee and Burbank. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Randy McKay with us today as we continue our NFL previews. We're taking a look at Washington today. And if Jaden Daniels can repeat that terrific rookie season where they got all the way to the NFC Championship game. Dwayne Colucci with us today back in Las Vegas. And camp continues for LSU. The Saints in joint workouts today with the Los Angeles Rams while they're out in California. They'll be there till tomorrow and then headed back for their Sunday game against Jacksonville in the Dome. I think this is officially the dog days of camp, Jimmy. We're past the halfway point, but we're still over 2 weeks to the opener for the colleges and a little bit more than that for the NFL.
Dude, watch some baseball and golf right now. It's great. The golf was great, and man, if you watch the Freeway Series, I mean, with the Dodgers and Angels the last 3 nights, that place has been jumping. I mean, jumping. So, I mean, the Mets, they were going crazy. They've been in a slump. They're up 6-0. Next thing you know, they're down 9-6. The rest of the broadcast was just showing the dumbfounded look of the Mets fans in the stands. So it was a dog day yesterday. It was a walk-off for Jackson Holiday against the hot Seattle Mariners. I mean, the teams that had to win didn't win. They didn't win. So, I mean, the Reds beat the Phillies. The Dodgers are no longer in. The Dodgers no longer the division leader.
Yeah.
They're not the best wild card record. They are behind the Cubs for the wild card. And, oh, by the way, Milwaukee just keeps smashing people.
Everybody got a free burger.
Yeah, that's right. They said, look, we can't. I was wondering how they executed that. So they, I guess the guys kind of figuring it out. And
it's one of the cooler promotions. I had never heard of
12
it.
games and a free burger.
It's 12 games and the whole city gets a free burger. The last time they did this, they gave out something like 100,000 burgers, over 100,000 burgers.
100,000?
Yeah, it was a massive.
Saratoga gave out free ice cream yesterday.
Did they?
At the track, yes.
Okay.
Charlie, don't.
It's cool up there, right?
We can watch the football, but don't sit there and look at the clock. You're not in detention. They got other things going on.
That's
and
right.
Let us golf got it figured out. They got this weekend. They got next weekend right, to kind of be a supplement to our week 0, and they get the hell out the way.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. With the exception of the Ryder Cup, they get out of the way.
My boy Colucci's fresh back from Del Mar. I mean, it's just we got a little report with him. So, and Randy's at Bet Bash, and I mean, he's an esteemed panelist, and so we'll get a recap of that. Just don't look at the clock. We got things going on, buddy.
And you're going to be in Vegas next week.
Yeah, we're broadcasting next Thursday and Friday. So Football Friday gets an early start this year. So we'll do a dual broadcast. You'll be at Rufino's. I was at a place yesterday, and they were asking me about the Eat the Competition dinner. And so it's outstanding. Gordy Rush will do his best to try and fill in for me. It's a tall task. But anyway, you and Gordy driving the ship there. I will be traveling that evening. So, but yes, live from the Radio Row at Circa, kicking off their contest, or I guess their last push for their contest sign-up. So last year they had 35 different shows around the country. We will be one of them, and our buddy Aaron, Chris Massaro will be sitting in with me. Max will be with me. He's making a trip. So And so you will take Thursday off. But we'll do 10 a.m. to 11:15 or so from Rufino's, and we'll take it from there live from Circa. So we got things going on. I'm telling you, this baseball is, Charlie, I talked about it, was it 2 weeks ago? How kind of when I first came back, week and a half, how it just seems like in the non-salary cap league, of course the Dodgers are supposed to win. They were like the Golden State Warriors repeating, and you don't do that in baseball, but they were, and it's just made it more, just made it more interesting that, Milwaukee's the team. Who thought that? Who had that? Nobody.
No.
So it's just you got some playoff light environments in the baseball stadiums where that's kind of hard to do with a 162 game schedule sometimes.
And the wild cards, look, I went kicking and screaming for the extra wild cards, but I can't deny that it has brought way more teams into the. It's
added more, pertinent games.
And I'll give you the perfect the one that I've kind of been following is Seattle. Seattle is right now has got the a 1-game lead for the number 1 wild card in the AL, but that's an interesting team. Cal Raleigh is the historical significance of a catcher doing what he's doing is interesting. They added at the trade deadline. They were not a seller. This is not a big market team. This is not a big spending team. But they added, take note, Pittsburgh. They found some money and they added just a little bit. It's not like they went out and made a trade for
Charlie,
Aaron Judge.
What you want Pittsburgh to do? To just finish 10 games better and just waste money?
I don't mean at this trade deadline. I mean in the offseason. I mean, add somebody. I mean, try to spend.
It's easy for you to spend that guy's money when no matter what he could spend $100 more million a year. He's not going to catch the Dodgers.
Well, Milwaukee did. I mean, just to be more competitive is all I'm asking.
Yeah, it's easy to spend other people's money.
He's not losing money. Okay, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Right,
he's not losing money.
They're not a little bit more commitment away from being a contender.
They have to be.
And his superstar he's just not performing. Cruz.
They have to be more consistent in their draft, creative in their draft. They have to be what Oakland was 20 years ago, where they have to bring people up, and they've done a little bit of that.
Yeah, get Zito and Mulder to join Skeens.
Well,
that'll be good.
I'm not saying that they got to go find 3 20-game winners. It's pretty hard to do, but it's disappointing.
Well, everybody talks about the Billy Ball, and that's fine, money ball, but I get it. But I watched the whole damn movie, and there was no mention of Mulder, Zito, and Hudson. Okay,
or Miguel Tejada, who won the MVP.
And that was when guys were throwing 8 innings.
Yeah,
before they would take them out.
No, I get it. The movie was Hollywood, but they found creative ways to win.
That's fine. Everybody's got that kind of element in their front office now. It's not like you're not outsmarting a whole lot of people or just kind of
No, you're not. Just like to get them out of last place.
Good luck. I mean, you're focusing on that. That's been going on forever. With the Pirates. Now that Skeens is there, you just bring more attention to it.
Right.
But
I am interested now. I wasn't interested in the Pirates before Skeens got there.
Well, but that's and when they signed Van Rosenberg from Zachary. Mm-hmm. Maneri kicked and screamed, but they were committed that year. They signed for the first time forever their top 10 picks. Signed them all. And maybe overspent. How long ago was that?
2008.
How long?
I believe.
How'd that work out?
Well, didn't they make the playoffs a couple times in the early teens when some of those guys got going
McCutcheon
on? When McCutcheon won the MVP, that was a playoff team.
Yeah,
it was a little bit better. A little bit better. BMW Championship, Michael Kim on top of the leaderboard. He's 3 under through 11.
Okay.
Everybody's still on the golf course, a short field, of course. Shane Lowry, Ben Griffin, and Scotty Scheffler all 1 shot out at 2 under. And our guy Sam Burns will tee off at about 10 minutes to 12. So here in about 40 minutes or so. That's the BMW taking place in Maryland at the Caves Valley Golf Club. So, yeah, you're right. There are other things going on other than we don't have any preseason football tonight. We do have some games tomorrow. The Saints are on Sunday.
Bad NFL. Come on. Give us a few, give us 3, like last Thursday night. Huh? Get your little NFL Network doubleheader at 6 and 9.
Right. There was a.
Come on.
Tell me what you think about.
Come on, man. They're average. I mean, NFL Plus is charging for preseason.
Yeah.
Packaging.
What if you put a preseason game on just about every night in the month of
August?
For the first couple of weeks in August?
Thursday through Monday.
I mean, but these teams are doing joint practices sometimes early in the week. If you wanted to do games on a Monday night, you could do games on a Monday night.
That's what I'm saying, Thursday through Monday.
Through Monday, okay, yeah. Every day but Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, five days a week. Give us.
I mean, they don't leave a nickel on the table. I mean, you got to have 17 streams to get every game this year?
It's challenging.
I mean, and so
but reattach the cord,
This is just a fumble. I mean, we don't need 3 more games on a crowded Saturday card. Is nothing like. Did we watch the games last Thursday night?
Yeah.
Who threw that night?
It was the Raiders and the Seahawks was the late game. The
Burrow,
that was the game I couldn't watch because I was
and
home.
the Colts.
And the Colts.
NFL Network had the Colts on.
We watched the Colts. Watched Richardson hurt his
Richardson and Jones,
and Jones ended up quarterbacking most of that game. Yeah, we paid attention.
Come on, two minimum, 6 to 9.
Little something.
Game little something.
Little something.
I mean, it's programming.
Little something.
Instead of the whole same thing. Am I good? Is this thing about to cash? Is this Joe Flacco starting first game about to cash? Huh?
I don't want to jinx you, but I don't even think that's a sweat.
Because if Shador, he looked good, solid, whatever you want to put, and then he has another one and another one. Could he start if he just lit it up? But he's not going to play this weekend.
No, he's got an oblique injury.
Right.
But I even think before that, I
agree, but I worry about this organization, Charlie. It's not what they should do; it's what they will do.
Answer me this: if Jake Haener had gone out and just lit it up in the first game, does he have any chance to start for the Saints?
Well, Jake Haener is not a rookie.
He's a third-string guy.
Jake Haener was not thought of by some as a first-round pick coming out.
No, that's true.
I can't. It's a different situation.
I guess my point is there's no other third or fourth string quarterbacks that go out and light it up in a preseason game that are in the conversation to be starters. Now, he's a different case. I get it, and Cleveland is a mess. But
he's not their fourth string quarterback. He's better than that.
I think he's better than a fourth string quarterback. But
No. They're on their. They have to start there because that's where they drafted him. They drafted him after Gabriel, so they got to put him. They invested a more expensive pick on Gabriel, so without any reps. But when it's game 1, game 5, game 10, he's not going to be fourth string.
I'm going through this in my head because when they got to put,
they got to
make a roster. They got to do a roster spot. Okay, they put somebody in the practice squad. Somebody could claim either one of those rookie quarterbacks, and Max does shows up there. He's talking about them carrying 4. That's ludicrous to me.
They're kind of doing some things that are you can claim tanking type of approach.
And if you're trying to win games, Flacco is your best option and Pickett is your second best option, even though neither one of those guys are going to take it. Just to win right now in September of 2025, yes, Kenny Pickett is a better option than Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders. Is it the better long-term play? No. Does he have more upside than certainly than Sanders? I don't think so. But if you want to win a game in September, Pickett is a better option. He's been in the league for a while. Both of those other guys would go out there completely fresh.
Especially after this, you know that a team is more likely to pick up Sanders off the practice squad than Gabriel.
Sanders would not make it on the practice squad. He would get claimed. Yeah. Somebody would pick him up and put him there. We're here at Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke, Ramen, right next to Rouse's.
It's that time of the year where the kids are getting back, and we're seeing them, some of them starting to, trickle in school is, I think, a week and a half away.
Monday a week. Yeah.
Yeah, you go. Okay. There you go, Charlie. And man, the poke bowls are outstanding. The sushi burritos, they're light, they're delicious, and they just don't they don't weigh you down, man. And it's hot. You don't want to eat something too heavy for lunch during the day. But you know what? Also, Junior got sick a little bit before he went off to college, and man, he loves that ramen. So we had the ramen from over here as well. And I think something about might get a little ramen for lunch today when we're done. So I love the ooh la la and the pork, the seasoned pork that they put in it. They do the shrimp, the lime shrimp ramen, which is really good. The good thing about the ramen too is you can get a mild, medium, or spicy temperature to them. So the sushi burritos, they'll roll them and you do them on your choice of the soy paper or the seaweed and things like that. Or your poke without that, and your choice of rice or any rice at all, and all your protein. Where the scallops is what you've been on, Charlie. The shrimp,
I love the scallops.
You could do the tuna, the salmon is all really good over here. So it's good. It's good for you. It's light. It's just fun, man. They're doing a really good job over here, and the place is clean, man. It's always clean. Everything's fresh when you go down and kind of get a specialty roll or a specialty poke bowl, and then from there you can kind of customize it yourself. Yeah, I didn't like this. I like this. I want a little bit more of this. Let's try this. So, and listen, the servers will be patient with you when you come down the line and you're kind of creating your own poke bowl or sushi burrito. It's good, man. Come check it out if you haven't been, for sure. Rewards program. Call ahead. They do that a lot of mobile ordering. So when you come up, boom, it's ready for you. It's good stuff over here. It's Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen, right next to Rouse's here at Burbank and Lee.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom, Sushi, Burrito, Poke, Ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Finbom. We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain and discomfort. You got back pain, if you got neck pain, things that keep you from getting around as well as you'd like or causing you not to get a good night's sleep. Let the folks over at Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, Dr. Michael Goff and his staff, do a great job. They have helped us out a number of times. So if you just need maybe a program to get you a little bit loose, they can do that for you. But if you need dry needling or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, they can help you out there. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Was doing some back work on the quarterbacks in the league to this morning, Jimmy. And while the headliners in the league are certainly Garrett Nussmeier and Lenore Sellers and Arch Manning, of course, and
he's the biggest headliner. Come on,
that
guy.
What I found, it kind of surprised me a little bit, maybe I shouldn't have been surprised, is there may not be many quote-unquote superstars at some of these other schools, but the amount of experience in the Southeastern Conference is a lot stronger than maybe you would expect. I think you know this one, but I'll throw it out there. Who's got the most starts among SEC quarterbacks?
I would have guessed Diego Pavia.
And that's correct. 36 career starts. That's 3 full years. Now, that transfers over from New Mexico to, before he got New Mexico State, excuse me, before he got to Vandy. And a lot of these guys have a ton of starts somewhere else. And I kind of ruined it for you because we talked about this in pre-show. But number 2 was a surprise to me.
A surprise to me, too.
Talon Green at Arkansas has 35 career starts. Now, 24 of them were at Boise State, but 35 career starts, that's a lot of experience.
You would think that I would recognize Boise State's past a little bit more than New Mexico State, but New Mexico State was so bad. And for Jerry Kill to get them to a bowl game was just – it's a miracle. And, I mean, Pavia was so who is this little guy? Man, he's a little fire plug. I did not think it was going to translate to the SEC at this level. Did not. It has. And I mean, just listening to, sound bites are sound bites. Sometimes they're just worth absolutely nothing. But the players when they talk about him, I mean, he gives Vandy a little, I hate the word swag, but just a little confidence, a little light. I mean, he's their guy. He is their guy, man. But he's their leader.
If Jerry Kill had not had health problems, he might have been a big, a major conference coach.
And I'm worried about him. Some of his sideline behavior was really old school and flat out dated, man, because you can't do something. I mean, he was rough on the sidelines, but he is going to embarrass those that aren't doing, filling out their assignments.
Yeah, I wish Sturm is the guy who got the most
playing
out
their
assignment. Most out of his
rosters. Charlie, to get that that's unbelievable. That's one of the – so that's why that was a little bit more on my radar, because if there was 130 teams that year, New Mexico State going into the year before we kind of had a handle on Pavia was 130, not even close to the worst team in college football.
After you get past Pavia with 3 full seasons, Green with 3 full seasons, there's another quarterback in the league that's got 3 full seasons of starting, or pretty close to 3 full seasons of starting. There's more than 30 starts.
And again, similar recipe from Pavia and Green, that they had the majority of these starts outside of the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although
so that's what's deceiving.
Yeah, it's Zach Calzada, who is projected to be the starter at Kentucky. He started games at A&M, but he's got 32 starts, 10 at A&M, it's almost a full season, and another 22 at Incarnate Word. Hey, Incarnate Word, listen, they catapulted Cam Ward, helped out his career. Calzada, behind him, Joey Aguilar from Tennessee. He's entering his 5th season of college football. He's got 24 starts. He's got 2 full seasons from back at Appalachian State. It was breaking records back there. These are not the guys that you would necessarily pick. Like, I would have picked John Mateer, who apparently has put this gambling stuff behind him. Looks like that's going to go away.
He's lucky.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because he's guilty. He's guilty.
I don't know if he's guilty or innocent, but it looks like he's going to skate.
He's guilty. It's just, what is he guilty of?
Yeah.
Betting on sports while he's in college, or stupidity?
Yeah, well,
he's guilty.
The stupidity is there, whether he bet on them or not. So, but he only started 12 games in his career compared to some of these other guys. Jackson Arnold is another one. 7 games as a freshman, 9 starts in his time at Oklahoma, but not as many. And in the
Power 4 starts, though.
They are.
Like what I'm saying is, does anybody have 20 Power 4 starts?
20 Power.
You just went through Green. Most of his at Boise State. Pavia, most of his are at New Mexico State.
Yeah,
Calzada, Aguilar at Appalachian State. There's nobody with 20 career starts.
20
Power
career
4,
starts in the Power 4. Let me look through this real quick before. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think anybody.
That's light, Charlie.
Yeah.
Now, Kentucky, too, we're wondering if Stoops has hit the wall. Man, they have a transfer quarterback every year, huh?
It's probably got to be that way.
You got our boy was with the Titans. Then you had the Georgia transfer, the Georgia signee. You had Leary from NC State, who I thought was going to be great. He was really good at NC State. It's just. They got a little bit of Iowa feel to them. You remember that bowl game when they played, huh?
I do. That
was ugly. But they got one every year.
And I was looking. I think it's right about half and half of the starting quarterbacks in the league that are homegrown and stayed the same place the whole way. It might be 9-7 homegrown to to transfer quarterbacks.
So if you're trying to put an exact parlay together, our favorite slime ball offensive, respected offensive mind, Bobby Petrino, second year he's going to have Taylor Green. Did we see? He was very, very spotty, inconsistent last year. Damn, he looked good in that bowl game. I know bowl games are bowl games, but didn't he look good?
He
was
did.
Good, man. And they had a lot of guys sitting out in that game.
And I don't have the exact numbers, but it was a big jump. Let me run some names by you that really flourished in their second season starting under Petrino. Lamar Jackson, Stephon LaFours at Louisville, Ryan Mallett at Arkansas. All of those players saw big jumps in their second season under Petrino as a starter.
In kind of the preceding guys with the coaches' comments, the anonymous comments, they said, hey, he's got him in a second year. So
Green scares the hell out of me. I told you last year, he is a scary guy when he gets going.
Who'd they play in that bowl game? They were on it. He was great.
Yeah, he did have a monster bowl game.
He was really good.
It was – who was that? I got to go back and look. But he had a monster game there. He is as fast as any quarterback in the league probably. He's got a big arm. He's not always consistent with it. But when he gets going –
he's very inconsistent.
Yeah, but if you catch him on the right day or the wrong day for you but the right day for him – he's got dude potential.
Texas Tech 39-26. They won. He only threw it. How about this, Charlie? He only attempted 21 passes, 11 for 21.
350 yards.
Yes, 341. 341 and a couple of TDs.
Bunch of big plays. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Are we counting stats against Texas Tech now, or is
Charlie, Kingsbury and Leach are gone?
Okay,
yes.
We can go back to counting stats.
You go get a top defensive end from Stanford. You get another group, the Georgia Tech, one of their best players. No, they run into different. They run. It's a different system. Yeah,
they got some money over there. Is what they
got. A little bit, no doubt about that. Don't forget our friends over at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of you real estate closings. 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie, and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at FinBomb, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Colucci, what's up, my man? How was Del Mar? How's your trip, man?
It was good. It was too short, though, Jimmy. You know how that is. You got to get right back into the trenches. And it's always too short when you're dealing with Del Mar. But, the weather was a little cooler this year. It wasn't as hot as it usually is. There was a lot of clouds and breeze. But, the handicapping was great. Did way better the second week than the first week. And, was able to come home with a nice little profit. So I was happy, without a doubt.
There you go. That's a win.
You two guys.
That is
the weather was too hot. It was too cold. We didn't get to go for long enough. We didn't win enough money. You two guys, man, y'all.
Well, considering you spend $3,000 on booze there, Charlie, you got to take that into consideration. I mean, the drink prices, I forget, it's like $28 for a shot. That's like, they call it a double, but it's not that. It's measured to the T, and before you know it, you have a couple, with that, 4 drinks, 5 drinks a day. You got to have an extra $3,000, and that's not even talking about all the tipping and the valet parkers.
Colucci, I'm just jealous I couldn't go. That's all that is. Just jealousy.
The concessions are not
come
great.
on, you could go, Charlie. You just don't make the effort. That's not the problem.
That's
it.
Somebody got
to go with Jimmy, but you could go.
Yeah, because somebody got to mind the store back here while Jimmy's on
He's
vacation.
been there before.
I have.
He has been there
Beautiful
before.
place.
Yes, he has been before. The concessions are not good. I would be some of the weakest concessions that there are, but. That's why we load up and we go pregame it at the Monarch or Brigantine on opening day and something like that, because it's just and then we eat and drink before and after, and then we'll get a couple beers or something like that. But no, we try and do that before. So anyway, your dad? Was your dad able to go?
Yeah, he definitely was there, and we had a great time. We were up in the press box with Jay Privman and Bob Ike, and, I sit on the terrace basically every day overlooking the paddock just so I could get a feel for the horses. Saw a lot of the owners that I know. I was in the walking ring. So, it was just a great time, Jimmy. And like you said, you definitely have to fatten up before you get to the track. When I'm dealing with my dad and my mom, it's hard for them to eat at night. And the track ends, very late. And if you're going to Red Tractons or something, you're not going to be sitting down till 8:30. So you know how that is. But what a great time. We're there for the horses, never mind the food.
Yeah, Red Tracton had its usual festivities after when you went?
Yeah, definitely. Went there. Went to Vigolucci's Italian trottery in Carlstadt. Very good. Better than the steakhouse and better than the other places. And naturally, before the track, I like to hit Milton's, like to hit Swami's, like to hit Kai's, a lot of those little beach facilities where I could get, a nice sandwich and a nice meal before I go to the track. And, the bars, there's too many to mention. So, just have a good time. Also be safe. Don't like to drink and drive. So, that's a whole nother thing. And, it was just great. The horse racing was off the hook. The CAW action seemed to calm down. And, I saw some quality races. That first week, Bob Baffert could do no wrong. He won a ton of races, and you could see Juan Hernandez won 6 in one day there. And, that's when the chalk is rolling in. But if you could get some of them gimmicks, you start getting them exactas, trifectas, and so forth, you could really start to pop it out. And I recommend, Jimmy, you always bet that late $3 pick 3. That thing pays very substantial because you have the higher-end customer in there putting in the bigger tickets because it's a $3 minimum.
Yeah. Any conversation around the track about their adjustment to the win poll with the computer players?
Well, most of the people, I'm on the Race Day Las Vegas show, and still, you have Jonathan Hardoon and John Lindo that are just, every day, they're just really all over it. And it's still happening. You could see the exactas at Saratoga and the gimmicks. The whole thing is that, it kind of hurt the win pool if it does anything. And it has to be, Jimmy, across the board shut down at about 3 minutes to post because the whole thing with the CAWs is that they could see how the pools are rising and what the public on track is betting, where we don't have that information when you're just sitting at Del Mar at a table. These CAW computerized programs have so much of an advantage, and when they see a particular horse or an exacta or a combination that is being bet pretty substantially, they just start to load up on it. And, there's so many different issues with this going on, especially at Saratoga. And we're not even going to get into that last race where they ran the wrong distance. The NYRA tries to be proactive, but within their own realm, they're making a ton of mistakes. And, it's not a good feel for the horse racing consumer. So you did see it calm down a little, but not to the effect where it should be, Jimmy. You're still seeing these exactas and trifectas pay way less than what they should. I was at Del Mar one day, and unheard of, the $2 exacta paid less than the $2 Quinella in a couple of those races where Bob Baffert, his horses won. Now, an exacta could never pay less. A house cue formula here in Las Vegas is the win times half the place price. That's how we used to figure house cues, and what, some properties still take house Quinellas. That's how they figure it out. There is no way a $2 on-track Quinella should pay more than a $2 exacta, yet it is happening right in front of your face, and that means the CAW money is still being flooded in there. And, it's going to be the demise of the sport if some of these racetracks don't step in, rectify it really quickly. You're going to see a lot of these tracks fall by the wayside. This is why none of these owners care about it.
The biggest to our listening audience who is not doesn't really follow horse racing as much. What Dwayne is saying is that you might think, well, yeah, go ahead and do it, enforce it, but it's a different pool. If Dwayne gets flooded with a hot tip on LSU and everybody bets him at the Rampart, well, they lose in the window, but the payouts aren't decided till the track takes roughly their 20%, a little bit less for win, play, show, a little bit more for exotics, exacta, trifectas, and so on. So they're careful of this computer wagering is a big part of their profits. I don't know if it's a third, it's a half, or a half. That's a lot. That's a lot. So they're trying. They have to. It's it's easy for us to spend other people's money, but they also need the people like us who pay attention enough that know this is going on and get tired of having an 18-1 shot that pays 6-1. And stuff like that. So,
and what's funny, Jimmy, is that they're not on track, so they're not getting any concessions out of these CAW players. They're disseminating racing forms, Ragazine sheets, brown sheets, thoroughgraphs. They're getting all their stuff for free. I know they are, because they're even saying that ownership contingencies are a part of these CAWs. Now, some people on social media are saying that trainers are involved. I don't want to think that. I don't like to think that at all. But that they're adding nothing to the game other than plummeting prices, and they are getting rebates where they are wagering. You cannot get rebates in Las Vegas. You cannot get rebates on track unless you bet through MYRA bets or similar platforms, TBG. But every single person that's betting the CAWs, as they're called, are getting kickbacks as well as disseminating products that they're getting for free, where you and I are paying $10 a racing form heading into the track, 30 to par, 20 to get in, drinks, like I said. And where are these CAW guys? They're not adding anything to the game other than lining their pockets.
Let's move on to sports. The overs. I mean, it's an over fest, and now we're seeing a lot of adjustments in the lines and also with the action coming in. So the general public wants to bet the overs to begin with. The preseason is usually unders, and the totals are, 8, 9 points, 7, 8, 9 points, shorter than a usual of regular season total. So basically, you're going from the mid to high 40s to the mid to high 30s with some of these numbers. But man, it's just an overfest. Or is everybody just betting the overs with both hands at the Rampart now?
Yeah, definitely. And after those significant line moves on that week that we were speaking about, when Burrow played and every game went the opposite way of what the public's seen.
6 for 6.
Now you have to find another niche, and it's definitely been. The totals. This is what they're looking at. I mean, you can see how they're all rising, especially across the board here at the Rampart and South Point. I mean, some of them have stayed steady, but, Jets and Giants have gone up. Rams and Chargers have gone up. Steelers up 1.5. You could just see it. Cardinals up 0.5. Green Bay and Indianapolis up 0.5. So we're talking about right there, I mentioned about 6, 7 games that all the action is on the over from the opening line, and the adjustments have to be quick in the preseason because, like I said, the sharps are the guys that are betting this, and the sharps are the ones that are focal on the preseason, whereas, the average consumer is parlaying and having fun with the baseball still.
Damn it, the power just went out over here. I was pulling up the NL West standings, and I can't get it. So could you refresh us on what the NL West standings are right now? Did you happen to pick up a Padres jersey on your way out of Del Mar?
That's all anybody's talking about, I'll be honest with you, down there, without a doubt, Jimmy. They're on fire, and, they have a good squad, and they did this last year. I mean, don't push the panic button yet. What we should be talking about is the Central and Milwaukee with that monstrous winning streak. I mean, this team is just a juggernaut and definitely should be now the World Series favorite based on play for the last 2.5 months. And, it's a shame that the Cubs and the Dodgers are now in second place and falling down. The Mets are falling backwards. I mean, they had a 6-0 lead last night and got pounded into the ground. A lot of different happenings now. Seattle's starting to catch up. Yankees started to fall apart, but now maybe they could gain some traction and get back into it. Toronto is still playing very well, but the Dodgers played well while I was in, Del Mar against Toronto, but now they fell apart against the Angels. You can't lose 6 out of 6 to your crosstown rivals. That's just unheard of. And the Dodgers are playing horribly, guys. So, keep your eye on that. And it's definitely helping out the Bucs.
When is the last time you took a bet against the Brewers?
Oh, I can't remember. I mean, when I started counting, you got to remember, guys, the Cubs were, I mean, let's go back, maybe a month and a half, they were 700 to win the division, minus 700. Yeah, it's unheard of. And, you know, we're definitely going to not get crushed by Milwaukee, but if they do win, you know, the division, the National League, and the World Series, we could be looking at a slight liability, but nothing that's off the hook just yet.
I know this. It's been a long time since I picked against Milwaukee. I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to stop that runaway train.
170,000 burgers can't be wrong.
170,000 burgers. There you go. So
imagine being a bookie in Milwaukee, guys. Forget about it. They're borrowing off the shies like you can't believe.
Those guys in the free burger line. So they, and listen, next time you go by the Paddock outdoor bar stand, just flip them a 10 and then show them, I'm paying for this, but this is for you before they make you drink. They're gonna make you a nice single. Trust me. So you'll be all right.
What are you kidding? It doesn't. They're watched. The tips are at least 10 a drink. You know how Kaluch rolls. I'm no tightwad, without a doubt. I didn't even talk about the tip money, guys. That was just for the drink, not the tip money. It was astronomical.
Yes, indeed. Kaluch, you're the best, man. Thank you, brother. We will talk to you next week.
Love you guys. Definitely say hi to everybody at Baton Rouge. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, Charlie.
All right, our man Dwayne Colucci. Follow him at NYBookie Dwayne. Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Had to stop into their location. It's right down Burbank. We're here at Finbaum at the corner of Burbank and Lee. You go down to Burbank and Bluebonnet, and that's their newest location here in the Baton Rouge area. So giving really good pretty good numbers on their 11-month CDs right now. So go by and check them out at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Finbaum, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbaum. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Saints out on the West Coast, they're coming home tomorrow. They've been out there about a week and a half. They're going to go with the Rams here in about an hour. The things to remember here are Kellen Moore said yesterday this is going to be heavy ones versus the ones. And so with that in mind, you may see the Saints with less of the ones in the second preseason game because they're doing this joint work with the Rams. The other part of it is that they play the Rams in the regular season. Usually they kind of steer around, I'm going to call it a scrimmage, but joint practices with teams that you play in the regular season, but they couldn't help it in this case. So they're going to have a long go here in about an hour out on the West Coast with the Rams. We'll see how that affects their play against the Jaguars. I think that Tyler Shook should start this game on Sunday. Moore hasn't said anything yet. Jaguars are a 3-point favorite. Everything, and I do mean everything that I have read out of Jaguars camp, which I have seen none of, but I've read a little bit about, is that their offense stinks in camp. Who knows if that'll translate over, but has not been good looking so far for Jacksonville. They're a 3-point favorite in the Superdome on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that Lim was going to go in there and kind of flip, because he did such a good job with Mayfield. That he was going to have that effect on Lawrence, and so, but I know this, the kid from Walker, Brian Thomas Jr. They not just people in Jacksonville around the league, and fantasy drafts and other things, to props. Man, he's getting a lot of love.
He's a top 10 fantasy pick.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
At any position.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, they just activated Mason Smith. He may get some time in that game on Sunday, former LSU Tiger. Hour number 2 at Finbaum, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbaum. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And return here at Finbaum, right next to Rouse's, Burbank and Lee. Come by and join us for lunch here today as we getting a little bit closer towards football season. Anything that you can create up there, that's what they got the menu fixed. But boy, you can create a bunch of different stuff there.
You can either get the specialty stuff. If some people who haven't been, I would probably suggest that if you're starting off here, get one of the specialty things. But as you kind of navigate and get a little bit more comfortable, then you can kind of create your own. Or if you just and list some of the specialty things, if you want. Just something, avocado, you just don't want. Okay, well, you don't have to do it. Minus the avocado. Or you want to try and create your own, they'll be patient with you. They know they're used to people coming in for the first time over here to Finbom. And so, Charlie, you like fresh tuna, salmon, shrimp, scallops, you name it. We got it over here, and it's really good stuff. So just kind of, they do the catering as well. The catering, and it's really clean. So they do their kind of their little lunch boxes, and they're kind of segmented. You got a sushi burrito. You got a little side, and in a dessert. So homemade brownies over here as well for you. So a little bit of everything for everybody over here. But it is perfect during these hot summer months. You're trying to hit the gym a little bit. You're working out in the yard, whatever it is. It's hot. Man, you don't want to get weighed down. So it's really good. It tastes good. It's good for you. And just really good stuff over here at Finbom. I love it.
You were going through some of your we're continuing to just prep and go through all of these teams. You were asking about Hugh Freeze at Auburn. And it's year 3. 11-14. We talk about coaches on the hot seat. Should they be? Should they not be? He's been at Auburn for 2 years. They haven't had a winning record in either one of hadn't finished with a winning record in either one of those years. Brent Venables has been at Oklahoma for 4 years, and he's had 2 losing seasons there. Those are the only 2 losing seasons they've had in the last 25 years at Oklahoma. The expectation level of both of these schools is really high, and they've been far, far below it. Throw Florida in there, too.
Let's start with Oklahoma, because there's a lot of people that are high on them. Phil Steele has one of his biggest turnaround teams of this season. I mean, the schedule is a little bit lighter because the neutral site game in Dallas against Texas they get credit for an away game as opposed to a home game last year. So that alone, instead of playing only 3 home conference games, you play only 3 true road games. I mean, they had a lot of injuries last year. I get it. The defense was good. I wonder just how much, I know to a degree, but just how much those defensive statistics were skewed because opposing offenses were not going to take unnecessary risks against them, minus Alabama, who let Milroe, beat them by themselves, beat themselves last year. So I wonder about that. And that schedule still is really hard. And they do catch Michigan at a good time. It's probably going to be Underwood's first start in a hostile environment on the road. Yeah, they're going to be better, but I don't. No, 9-3. I just can't see it. I think they're over under at 6.5. I would go under. Charlie, I'm not, and it's kind of a fashionable pick for a turnaround for Oklahoma. Now Mateer's got this hanging over his head. Can't help.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I don't think it's going to crush him, but it doesn't help. And that schedule was so bad for Washington State. Well, listen, Diego Pavia did it in New Mexico State. I don't know how much of it. He lifted that team, when he was there with Jerry Kill. Jerry Kill and Pavia lifted that team. I don't know. I'm 7-5 at best.
I don't know about 7-5. I think they might be able to do a little bit better.
3 rental wins.
Yeah, and then one of the most fascinating games of September to me is Oklahoma hosting Michigan, because Michigan will most likely be starting Bryce Underwood at quarterback. That'll be his first road start. We've talked about that. But for Oklahoma, everything you just talked about, let me focus in on the one thing that hamstrung them more than anything else last year was the offensive line. They allowed 50 sacks last year. That was tops in the country. 50 sacks. Now, I like Mateer. I think he's a talent. But they're bringing in a new offensive coordinator. It's his guy, Arbuckle from Washington State. He's got to fix this offensive line with it. 2 new starters, 3 guys back from the disaster that was a year ago. They got at least 1 freshman that's protected as a starter on the offensive line. So I like Jaden Ott. I think you do too. I like Mateer. Arbuckle may be an upgrade as the offensive coordinator. But if that line gives up 50 more sacks or anything in that vicinity again this year, good luck. You can't get away with that. Now, Michigan's in a state of transition as well. By the way, their sign stealing penalties are coming down tomorrow. And
what, are you gonna strip them in the national championship?
No, but it could end up in court. Anyway, they are in a transition period. Oklahoma's in a transition period. That's week 2. I'm fascinated to see how that game turns out. And we take that angle all the time. Freshman quarterback on the road.
Think Michigan's got a chance to make a run this year?
I don't know. I don't know how good Underwood is.
I'm interested. I won't move up. I'm fascinated, but
it will give us an idea of which one of these teams is handling the transition better. Michigan to a new quarterback, or Oklahoma to a new quarterback, new OC, and like I said, that offensive line.
Michigan's way more stable shape than Oklahoma right now, my man.
Yeah,
way
of course,
more.
I just told you that there's 2 losing seasons.
Now, what would they be if they flip the schedules? If the league gives Oklahoma Texas schedule, and Texas gets Oklahoma's, you're talking about a totally different ball game, man.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's a joke. Texas played 1 team that finished in the top half of the league last year. And lost.
And that team beat them, yeah.
Yes.
In fact, Georgia beat them pretty good in the game in Austin.
Beat them in a revenge game in the Dome, too, with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, the backup quarterback had to play more than half the game, and they still won.
Yes.
But in Austin, I mean, Georgia controlled that game, man.
Oh, they beat the crap out of them.
They
beat the crap. Texas, actually, the line of scrimmage controlled it. They just didn't score enough. And they should have been multiple scores up, but they weren't. And so, but I mean, so I got to give Oklahoma. It's a little bit circumstantial. Venables, if you go back and watch that Alabama game, man, they were not going to let a one-dimensional quarterback beat them. They had a million guys. Hey, quarterback draw, okay. Read option, okay. No, you're going to throw the ball. And he eventually threw it, and he threw it to the other team. But so Venables, and he's taking a more active role, but he's in trouble. Man, Michigan's fresh off the national championship. They're all like, man, that's a damn pretty strong move by Michigan. No, Underwood's been committed here for how long? No, we got to go get him. No, I mean they're just and publicizing the spying. Who the hell's going to lose sleep over that in Michigan? I mean,
I want to see what happens tomorrow.
Why? What does it matter?
Because Dellinger seems to think that it's going to be some significant enough penalties that Michigan is going to take it to court and drag this thing out.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm just interested to see what happens tomorrow.
They're not giving back the trophy.
Well, no, that's
okay.
They're
going to lose scholarships. Scholarships don't mean anything anymore. You just pay the players.
I don't
pay
know.
For your scholarship.
They can go talk to you guy Larry Ellison's girlfriend.
So what could it possibly be that is that big of a deal? What could it possibly be?
I don't know. All I know is if Michigan
no bowl ban, no TV, no playoff ban.
If Michigan didn't give a crap, they wouldn't take them to court. Is all I'm saying. And so let's see what it actually comes down. Dellinger doesn't usually blow smoke if there's not something there. That's all I'm saying.
I
have
hear
no idea
you,
what
but
it
it's
is.
also August, and it's also the NCAA in this era, and what kind of power do they have? And then not taking it. So this was happening along the way for the now when Harbaugh had to sit, that was a big deal.
Yeah, because it said to sit at the beginning and
this guy
sit at the end. No, it's not. It's not there. And what is Michigan's? You say they're more stable. Well,
their football program's in better shape right now than Oklahoma's.
It is.
I mean, come on, we can't.
It is, but their big move came because a CEO of a $1 billion company, one of the richest men in the world, because his girlfriend decided that she wanted to be a Michigan fan, and so they went and bought a quarterback because he needed to.
Okay, but when you win a national championship, you wake those people up. They hadn't won a national championship alone for 70 years.
And they were getting thumped by Ohio State, which was just as important to them. So, yeah, that woke them up a little bit. But they got Underwood because Ellison got involved.
Well, that's the name of the game now, and they weren't at to that degree. You know, Oklahoma was probably when just go back 10 years ago, Oklahoma was going to playoff every year. Michigan, if they went, they got embarrassed by Georgia.
Yeah.
You know?
That's college football now. Which school gets your billionaire alumni motivated? Kansas yesterday, of all people, finds they got to give them $300 million. Texas Tech, it's rate your billionaire.
Is it that way, or is it just more publicized?
Well, the biggest ones are publicized. I mean, LSU raised a bunch of money. Just to give you an example, last December, okay, and they spent it. There wasn't one guy that gave maybe at Kansas or at Texas Tech. It wasn't one guy. It was more of a group effort. So maybe that gets less publicized. There's not that one big name at the top. There's not that Ellison or something like that. But you got to go out and you got to get your guys involved.
Oklahoma's strong. Oklahoma's going to have money. Oklahoma's got tremendous. These are two of the. Now that's the intrigue. That's the interesting part. Is that you're getting these teams on the same field, and that's good. And that's good for college football. They're not at their strongest right now. Michigan's got the support, and maybe more support than Harbaugh. But Harbaugh got this thing back on track. He got it back on track. And funny thing is, Sharon, he played at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, are you going to give him a 2-game suspension? He's going to miss the Oklahoma game,
or I don't even know if
you can pick and choose and take 2 rent-a-wins.
Well, if you can do that, then it takes all of the starch out of it.
Shame on Penn State. Shame on Penn State.
No argument.
Nevada.
No
Who
argument.
is it?
No argument from me.
Who else is in there? Do they play? Oh my God!
It's 3 teams that nobody cares
So they
about.
dodged Michigan. They don't want to play them anymore, so they get out of that.
Villanova and Florida International.
No, there's one more. No, they don't have any Power 4. They have 0 Power 4.
We'll see. Well, they play non-conference games.
So 3. You named 2.
Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova.
Nevada, Florida International, and Villanova. Okay, I mentioned that. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean, what is that?
That's the Big Ten is giving you 9 games, and you decided, hey, listen, it doesn't do us any good to go out and play a tough non-conference game.
I am loading up. I'm not going to get. What do we say? Don't get mad. Get action. I am loading up, kind of like remember Squirrel, the bartender from Mary Mahoney's, and he had like little bets all season long, and he tied up with the Eagles winning the national winning the Super Bowl. You remember Macero losing his mind last year during the NBA playoffs because he had everything tied in with Oklahoma City winning the West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vaguely.
And they had to go. I'll jog his memory. He was go through his Twitter timeline. He went bananas. But anyway, I am tying all kinds of little nuggets with it's minus $3, but Penn State make it to the playoff. You can't. They'd have to lose. They have 3 games they could lose. 3 games possibly they can lose at Ohio State, Oregon at home, at Iowa. They're not going. They have to lose all 3. They're not going to do that.
Give me if I can tie in Penn State making the playoff with Clemson making the playoff.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that seems like as safe a play as you can make, even if Clemson were to lose to LSU. Here's a stat.
I think Notre Dame, Clemson, and Penn State have the easiest paths.
Okay.
With the team and the path. I mean, that Notre Dame schedule is sad too. So,
and even if they lose to Texas A&M, here's a stat you need to know in Oklahoma: from 2000, which is when they made, when they brought Bob Stoops in. Actually, they brought Stoops in '99. He had that transition season. John Blake had been a mess, and they had the
lost the Independence Bowl to Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Deuce,
that first year.
Deuce McAllister.
Then in the 2000 season, they won the national championship. So you're talking about 25 years. Prior to Venables in those 25 years, they had won less than 10 games. Only 3 times.
Golly.
Okay?
Yeah.
And Venables has 2 losing records in 3 seasons.
Well, they own that. Stoops just owned that damn Big 12. I mean, it was.
He did, but Lincoln Riley, who nobody had ever heard of before that, came in and won 12 games a year for 4 years after Stoops left. And Riley wasn't a household name when they hired him. Hell, they did that in the middle of.
He was his offensive coordinator.
He was his
well
OC,
known.
but
he was not.
They shoehorned him into that job. You remember when Stoops quit in the spring?
You don't have to point at me, little guy. I mean, damn. Yes, I remember it well. It was a strategic move, but Bob Stoops had done enough there and flipped that program around, like he talked about. It was in rough shape when he took over for their standards, and he earned that right to kind of handpick his successor, and he did. And Riley was premature for his opportunity, but we knew who the hell Riley was, and as coordinator, he was highly thought of. But it was early for Lincoln Riley to get the handle, the keys to that level of program. Yes.
If Stoops retires at a regular time at the end of a regular season, and they're looking for a coach in December, I don't think Stoops gets to pick Riley.
But Stoops he's coaching UFL right now. When did he hand that over to Riley?
2017.
8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Does he look burnt out coaching that league? Are you kidding me?
It's a strange deal because his father had passed away as a coach, and then he had health problems, and it just seemed like he goes. I remember I don't think he said it exactly like this, but it was, I don't want to die on the sidelines. And
no.
And he
Coming
got
from a dad who cut his career short too because of health. It's
that's
real,
a real thing, and maybe he's over that now.
But to recharge your batteries is one thing. How old was he when he stepped down?
Stoops is in his early 60s now. I guess.
50s. He's in good shape. You know, I mean, he didn't.
Stoops is 64 now, so that was 8 years ago. 56.
Yeah. Charlie. To do 56 is 36. Come on.
Stoops could be coaching somewhere besides where he's coaching right now. If he wanted to be. And
if he was available, you don't think Florida would hire him?
If Stoops puts his name back out there that he wants to coach in the SEC again, he will get a job.
No, but a good one, like Florida.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Florida, Auburn. Would they take him back at Oklahoma?
How many Auburn coaches in a row? How many Auburn coaches in a row would have they fired and owed him money when they fired him? Was Pat Dye the last one?
Pat Dye was probably the last one.
They
owed Terry Bowden followed him, and they owed him money when they left. They fired 3 coaches that had undefeated seasons. 3 coaches that had undefeated seasons.
Well, Chiswick was a long remove from that undefeated season, huh?
Yeah, all of about 14 months, 18 months, something like that. Yeah, long time. We're brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, no 2 situations are alike, so let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you, your business partners, and a legal team and tax professionals to make sure all your goals are achieved. They'll work for you. I know they've been working for me for a long time. Phil Fontenot and his staff, get in touch with them online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Get your retirement goals. Doesn't matter what stage of your life you are, your income level, or your age. They'll tailor-make a plan that's perfect for you. The advisory services are provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA SIPC.
I hope when you talk to Phil, and you decide, your game plan and gain a strategy with your investment, you don't point at him when you talk to him like you did.
I've known him a long time. I pointed at him sometimes.
He
points back at me. Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Finbom. We're also brought to you by the Thibodeau store and the Pierre Port store. Jimmy making a little trip down on Saturday. Get ready for the season, going down to the Pierre Port store on,
I'm going to be
on Saturday.
Got to do it, man. Before football season. It's my last weekend where I got a little maneuverability, but you getting ready to you do your own cooking for tailgating. Or you just like to do on-site stuff or in the outdoor kitchen, like myself, while you watch the ball games, you get ready. Now's the time to load up for your equipment. And so everything you need. So you got green egg accessories, grilling, with the burners that you put in your trailer or in your truck and you go do on-site for tailgating. Jambalaya pots of all sizes and price points. So, gadgets galore, just everything you can think of, they got a lot more than that. So it's going to introduce you to some equipment and some ideas and some things that, really get you fired up. So you enjoy outdoor cooking, on-site cooking, you're going to love the Pierre Port store in the Thibodeau store. I will be there Saturday morning, Charlie. Roll in tell Garrett about 9 in the morning, something like that. Get about early bird gets the worm, Charlie.
And online, it's thethibodeaustore.com with delivery available on a lot of items. And back up, we got a second here before we continue with our NFL previews with Randy McKay. I told you that Brian Thomas was a top 10 pick in fantasy. ESPN just finished their fantasy marathon. They go an entire day with this stuff. They just finished that up. His average, I might have shot a little high there. His average draft position, 16. But I'm asking, we don't do much fantasy football, if at all. But an LSU guy is probably going to go number one in the most leagues. Jamar Chase is the consensus number one player. Right? Yeah. Some people will take Bijan Robinson because they are running back heavy. The receiver pulls a little deeper. Their points projections are pretty close. But Chase is the number one player in most leagues. Justin Jefferson is a top 5 player in every league. If you took him at 2 or 3, nobody would blink. His average draft position is 3.4.
Well,
Malik
Neighbors
is,
who's throwing the ball?
Yeah, and then Malik Neighbors is number 11. His average draft position is number 11, and then Thomas is 16.
How about that?
It's 4
wide
LSU
receiver.
4 LSU receivers in the top.
When do we
14.
flip from DBU to wide receiver? You.
I would, the easy thing is to take a shot at Les and say when he left, but Jarvis and Odell were great receivers in the NFL before that, so I can't. Dwayne Bowe was recruited by DiNardo, by Saban. Excuse me. Let me ask you this: Do you like any of these the receivers that they have in front of him? Not for fantasy necessarily, but for just for the season. Chase is the best receiver in the NFL. Jefferson second. CeeDee Lamb third. Puka Nacua fourth. On this list, the Stafford injury would concern me a little bit. He still hasn't practiced out there, and he's 37 years old. Yeah,
it concerns me a lot.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 5. That guy's steady as it goes.
I kind of like him a little better than Nacua.
I do too. For the quarterback situation.
No, just whatever.
Okay. Neighbors.
You talking about fantasy wise?
Well, fantasy wise, have the better season.
See, I can't put. I don't put Chase in ahead of Jefferson. Just as far as their ability. I do put it. If I'm saying who's going to have the better year, yeah, I'm going to. Couple of things. I want Burrow throwing to my guy more than a rookie. Mm-hmm. All right, that's obvious. Or even Darnold last year. The other thing is Minnesota's defense is a lot better than Cincinnati's. They're forced to push the ball. The other thing is the offense that they run. They just gave up on their running game. Burrow, just figure it out. So they throw the ball a lot. He's probably he led the league in pretty much every passing statistic last year, huh? Yards and everything.
He won the Triple Crown. Catches, yards, and touchdowns.
No. Chase led it. I'm talking about Burrow through. He led in yards, touchdowns. I was talking about Burrow.
Oh, you were talking about Burrow. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Chase.
And Charlie, put Jefferson with Burrow. He'd put up the same numbers. He'd put up the same. Guys,
the difference between Chase and Jefferson is minimal.
I thought Rohan did a really good job of explaining how the details and how Jefferson runs routes and how he's coming out every play kind of like the same, but he's going to break a different way, and it's going to be he doesn't tip his routes off.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Burrow did lead the league in he led the league in yards. He led the league in touchdowns. His QBR was an eyelash behind Jackson and Allen.
But yards and TDs when it comes to fantasy.
Both of those. Both of those. Just to go back one more, the other guy they had in front of Thomas was Nico Collins at Houston. He was a really good player. Missed a little time last year.
Well, I think he was leading the league in receiving yards or catches. I think yards before he got hurt.
Yeah, and when he got, and they had multiple injuries. They lost Diggs early, and then they lost Tank Dell and
Johnson.
And right. So they had
enough.
Yeah, so they had their problems, and that contributed to
his sophomore slump. It wasn't
C.J. Stroud not having as good a second year, and boy, he got hit I don't think he was excited to see Laramie Tunsil leave town.
No, would you?
No.
Your protection was a major issue, and I'll never forget that playoff game. That playoff game was neither team could protect their quarterback. Houston was harassing the hell out of Mahomes, and they were doing the same to Stroud.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first one when they were playing the Chargers, and the Chargers kept turning the ball over. The Texans defense was good that day.
Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. If your homeowners association requires wood windows like mine, you got to get the wood windows that are going to last, that are functional, and that they look good. And the biggest thing is lasting. A lot of wood windows look great when you put them in, but man, with the extreme weather conditions, I learned firsthand. Man, it's too much. The heat, the rain, the mold, the snow, the humidity. Come on, man. You just can't do it. You better have them built a little build your windows a little bit different in South Louisiana than they do in Southern California, okay? It's just a little tougher weather-wise. That's why you got to get the windows that are built with R-Last wood, the gel wood windows that come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime limited warranty against rotten termites, providing you years of beauty and minimal maintenance. They look great. They're efficient. They last long. And they're functional when you want to open them up for some nice days. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Live at FinBond, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Uh-oh, they let the big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Randy McKay, fresh off of his panel appearance over at Bet Bash in Circa this weekend. And Randy, tell us how it went, man, yesterday. How did it go?
Yeah, it went pretty well. We're in one of the there's 5 different ballrooms where they have different panels. There's a couple I wanted to see during our time slot. It's too bad I had to miss them, but would have been kind of interesting. But in ours, it was, of course, me and Bill Krakenberger and John Orlando doing his Wisecracks podcast, and well attended. About 100 people probably in the ballroom part of that there, and actually some females too. So that was pretty neat to see some females show up at Bet Bash this year, which is mostly all male dominated.
Well, what do you make of that?
Well, maybe a little change. Get some females that are interested in sports betting. It just shows it's taking off, and always good to see different people in the betting market, and I think that'll be a good thing. Okay,
we certainly have a lot of female sports gambling female media members. We know that. It's good to see. But anyway, what were some of the common questions that you guys fielded yesterday?
Well, just kind of, Bill, of course, Bill's a rambler, you know that, so it's sometimes tough to get a word in edgewise, but, he brings up in certain topics, and, he had good topics everybody was interested in, and there was a couple sponsors there, and everybody liked the sponsors. This new Edge Boost is pretty popular now. It's a gambling credit card, and that's pretty interesting to me. And they actually had a wheel spin here, and I signed up and just missed the $500 feature on it. I got 50, but no big deal there. But that was interesting as well. And then they asked me some of my opinions about the NFL coming up, and I broke down a couple divisions for them and how I got them rated, and it worked out pretty well. But it was a good time.
There you go. When are they wrapping things up?
So it all gets wrapped up Friday with the Hall of Fame ceremony there, and of course you have to, if you want to sign up for that, you have to pay in a little extra. I don't think my VIP invite covers that, which is no big deal, and I only know one person going in there. Otherwise, it's some older guys, but that wraps up Friday night.
Hey, Randy, we were talking with Colucci earlier about the computer groups and their wagering and how they've got these computer programs that spit them out, and it's right before they start the race, and it's exact as it's everything in it. Anything that their computer feels is out of whack, it bets them automatically, and they're very good. And they're also getting rebates. They're also, they can see the pool, so they get in that pool, but it's also misleading a lot of people. Saratoga and Del Mar, at least the win pools, have kind of made some restrictions on their betting. Win pools, Saratoga, I think it's 3 minutes to post. Del Mar, it's 1 minute to post, that they have cut off the computer groups. But they also get rebates for their action because they put a lot of money through, and contributes to the handle, to the profits for the tracks. But a lot of people are getting upset about them with the rebates. What is different about, say, a guy like you who understands how to work the comp system so much? Have you ever gotten any pushback from maybe, I don't know, if you get you go on the last day of the month and the first day and get like double comps for the month, where it expires one day but resets the next, or have you... What is different about that, if any, and have you gotten any little pushback from sort of working the comp system?
Yeah, sometimes as a gambler you do get a little pushback, and I actually know of that rebate system in the races there. I've heard about these groups coming in late, especially these big tracks, and hitting the pool real hard, and as we all know, there's a big takeout in horse racing, so that rebate, makes it a more profitable thing for them. Probably it wouldn't be profitable if they weren't getting the rebates, so that's definitely why they're doing it. But when it comes to some like casinos or racetracks paying people, there's always going to be it's never going to always work out 100% the way it should. There's always going to be maybe some pushback and that kind of thing. You hope it does, but sometimes it doesn't.
Let's talk about the Washington Commanders today and their NFC Championship game appearance. Jaden Daniels was outstanding. He was clutch. They were unbelievable in one-score games. You wonder about that reverting back to the mean a little bit. You wonder about the sophomore slump. Worry about his favorite target, Terry McLaurin, in that situation right now. That's obvious, and it's hard to handicap right there with that. But Daniels, we think that he's going to be really, really good. Most people do. That was not just a kind of a one-year type of wonder type of deal. They're 6th, 7th, and 8th choice. They're kind of tied with two other teams. They're tied with the 49ers and the Packers at 20-1, 6th, 7th, 8th choice to win the Super Bowl. They're minus 150 to make it to the playoffs. Their win total is 9.5. The schedule is tough. The NFC East, Philly, Dallas, and the Giants. It's a little tougher than the average, but the NFC North and the AFC West are certainly tougher than the average divisions that they play 8 of their 17 games against. What you think about Washington this year?
Yeah, I got them ranked number 2 in the division here behind Philly and probably a game or two even behind Philly. But see how that goes. I got them ahead of the Cowboys, even though a lot of people think the Cowboys might be a little stronger this year. I just got to see it before I believe it with Dak coming back and a new coach. So, and then of course the Giants on the bottom. So that's pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. But as it goes here, you look at their schedule. It starts off pretty easily. I do see one play against spot in that schedule there. Week 6 they play at home against Chicago, the big Hail Mary revenge game here for the Bears. Bears getting about 4.5 here. I can see this game being close again. The Bears had them beat the whole game till the end there. So I see that being a play against spot here for the Commanders, but I could see them being right in that win total there, probably right around 10 games, making the playoffs again. Of course, they bolster the offensive line. I still got them 21, even though they added Tunstall, and this kid through the draft from Oregon should help on the other side too. So, but I still got them 21. Can they get some kind of run game for Daniels, even though he's a runner as well? So he kind of, even though they have okay running backs, Robinson and Eckler, but you got to factor in they got a running quarterback as well. The defense is where I get the main concern here. They added veterans, Von Miller, another defensive tackle they added to as well. And they got older defense. I mean, Bobby Wagner's their middle linebacker still. So, and then we'll see how they had a pretty good weakness there in the secondary, but they got your guy Lattimore, so late last year, so we'll see how the defense. So they're not playing these high variant. They played a lot of high variant games last year. Had a lot of third and fourth down luck.
Yeah.
We'll see if that keeps up. So as far as this goes, I see them right around 10 games. No play on maybe if you want to do a cheap yes to make the playoffs, but no play on the RSW there, and then the play against spot in the Hail Mary revenge game there for the Bears, even though I'm not real high on the Bears either.
Yeah, they won a lot of close games. What was their fourth down numbers last year? It was unreal. I know when the Eagles win, the come from behind win that Jalen Hurts got hurt on was a big was a big fourth down conversion. Like a 4th and 16, 4th and 18 scramble by Daniels. So you talk about that Bears game, though. They were the better team. It was kind of a weird game where they were settling for field goal after field goal, but they outgained, and Chicago was certainly in position to win. To me, kind of steal it, because Washington did outgain them by 174 yards that day. So it was kind of Washington should have been up more than what they were, but then they were dead at the end, and the Bears with some defensive breakdowns. And one thing about it, though, you better put Daniels ahead when you got Atlanta mismanaged the hell out that Sunday night game. They had them beat in that game. You give Daniels a chance when it's on the line. He's found clutch. It's almost like we get a little aggravated. Man, we wish he showed a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more emotion and stuff like that. Well, he's poised, man. He's clutch. The moment or the stage does not bother him.
And they said he's taking on more of a leadership role.
We had to get comfortable first.
He's more comfortable there. They were 6th in the league in third down conversions last year, just under 40.
What about 4th?
Fourth down conversions, they were first. They were 20 out of 23, 87%. That's unreal.
No tushy pushies in that one either, huh?
Yeah.
Randy, have you ever heard of that? 20 of 23?
Yeah, pretty crazy, And then you got Dan Quinn kind of, he was more of a conservative coach his first time around too with Atlanta. He wasn't a fourth down goal for a guy like this, and
right.
Maybe he sees it, and you got to look at the defense too. Maybe they can get more adapted. He's a good defensive coach, so maybe the defense will be a little better too there.
They were so aggressive with what they did. They traded 4 draft picks for Tunstall. They used their first-round pick on an offensive lineman. They traded for Deebo Samuel. But I'm not sure that all of their early success here doesn't hedge on whether Terry McLaurin signs in time or not. I suspect he'll sign, he'll get there, but we've seen this so many times. A guy holds out, comes back, gets hurt. Even if he's holding that kind of casts a pall on it for me right now because he's key to what they do.
We're out of time, Randy. Anything else before we let you go, buddy?
No, that's about it. As far as the Washington team goes, it should be exciting NFC East there, and look forward to next week.
Yeah, I think we agree that he's the real deal. They're going to be good, but, man, it's a lot to duplicate 20 or 23 on fourth down, all these close games. Everything kind of fell their way. But they might be a better team with not as good of a record or as deep of a playoff run as last year. Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39, the big dog. Thank you, Randy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck, everybody out there.
All right, and don't forget our friends over at Total Maintenance. Total Maintenance, it's hot. You got to call our friends at 480-1000. Service today, every day means you call today, you get service today. Nobody goes to sleep hot when they call Total Maintenance. One of Louisiana's oldest and largest AC heating companies since 1980, and Lucas Ragusa has worked in every step from technician to the office to the field to the manager to owner. He understands, and that's why he's really careful about who he brings on to his team at Total Maintenance. Got 2 different branches, one in Baton Rouge, one in New Orleans, but not compromising either. Totally different branches, totally different offices, totally different staffs, servicing those markets. Service today, every day. Yes, indeed. You call today, you get service today. That's Total Maintenance, 480-1000.
Live at Finbaum, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbaum. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Invite you out this Saturday for the 5th annual Knockout MS Gala at LeBerge. It's from 7 until 10. I'll be emceeing again this year. Your tickets include dinner, open bar, live and silent auctions, and live music by Rewind. We're fighting MS in our community. We're providing equipment for those that need it, power chairs, stair lifts, cooling vests, bath and shower chairs, and a whole lot more. Tickets on sale right now at the Knockout MS Foundation website, knockoutmsfoundation.com. That's this Saturday at LeBerge. The BMW, Michael Kim, Ben Griffin, and Ricky Fowler, along with Jason Day, all at 2 under par. Kim is in the clubhouse. He is your clubhouse leader, and 3 others on the golf course. Scotty Scheffler had a share of the lead, back-to-back bogeys. Don't see that often from Scotty, but he is 1 under par, 1 shot off the lead.
All right, Dan. Yeah, don't forget live 3 o'clock today on College Sports Rush YouTube channel. Myself and Paul Stone handicapping the Big 12 today. So the Big 12, we'll look at them later today when at 3 o'clock. So we're College Sports Rush, and we're Sports Better's Paradise on the Bet Rivers Network.
Thanks to our hosts here today, Finbaum, Sushi, Burrito, Poke, Ramen, right next to Rouse's here at Burbank and Lee. Tomorrow, our usual Friday spot will be at Ruffino's in the Hidden Pour as they continue their remodeling of the bar. We'll be there tomorrow at 11 a.m. For Jimmy Ott. For Jordan Kinch's back in the studio, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. It's been live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.